there's these people in Boston who have done a whole lot with, they think a better way to learn programming is through Scheme first, and then you can jump to Java rather than throwing, now we just kind of throw students straight into Java or C++. And so they just have put together this whole college curriculum. But they also have this curriculum, it's like a 2-week camp that kids go to, and it's for middle school kids, or maybe it's a 1-week camp, I don't know, there's 10 lessons, 10 days, to learn the basics of programming. Okay, now the language, they've modified the Scheme language, so now they call it Racket. Okay, they came up with this new name, but what we're going to be doing is basically Scheme, so I'm just going to call it Scheme. Okay, and Scheme is a procedural language, so everything we do is going to be basically functions. Okay, all functions, and everything evaluates to a function. But today we're not. Oh yeah, we are. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do, by the end of the whole thing, at the end of the semester, we are going to create a game. Okay, now you're not going to have to do too much. I mean, you'll have, they give you basically a template for the game, and then as we learn things, we're going to start filling in stuff in that template. So your game is going to grow slowly, week by week. Okay? So the first thing I want to show you is the game. Okay? Now this is one that's already running, and yours is going to be similar. And if I don't, it goes really fast. Okay, so here is a cat, and I can use my arrows to go up and down, and I guess I also go left and right. And I want to try to get, that jewel, and you'll see there's a score here, and if you get the jewel, you get the ruby, and see it says use arrow keys to move, jump on the dog, and catch the ruby. Okay, except that I think the dog can also kill you. Okay, let's try running that again. Okay, and we will be able to control how much we jump. You're going to be able to control these things. Ah, the dog ate me. Okay? But the point here is that and if you turn to the first page of your workbook, which you're going to have to bring this workbook to class with you every time, and we're going to be looking at it. Where is my workbook? Where do I have it? Okay, so at the beginning of the workbook, you have a list of what are the things in the game and what changes about them, okay? So what are the things that you see on the screen in this game? Like every piece that needed to be put together to create the game. So what's one thing? The cat, okay? So I want you to write these down, okay? There's the cat, there's the background, okay? Turn to lesson 1, and it says, so we're going to basically reverse engineer. We're going to figure out what's the cat.
I didn't get it.
You did it! Did everyone else get one? Okay, so we're going to write down all the things that are in the game that we're going to have to create when we create our game. Okay? So we have, what did we find? What do we have?
Cat, the dog, the background.
Okay, the cat, the dog, the background. What else? The ruby. Okay.
The clouds, because they're not part of the background because they changed.
That's right. The clouds. Okay. The cat, the ruby. Okay, there's one more thing. There's actually two more things. There's a score. Can you see anything
Title?
else? There's like a title and instructions. Okay?
Title be separate than instructions.
Well, you can put title and instructions. They don't really change. They don't really do anything. So, but it's there. You have the title and you have instructions. You can make them separate. It doesn't really matter. So, those are the different things that we have. Okay? So now, when we're playing the game, what about the cat do you see change?
He jumps.
Okay,
goes up
so
and
it changes what? Position. The position on the screen changes, right?
right.
And specifically, so you can say what changes about it. You can put position for the cat. And then specifically, okay, I can go this way, but I can also go this way. Okay, so what changes? So if we talk about the background and the whole game as being a grid, do you guys remember how in math you make graphs like this?
Mhm.
Okay, and what would this axis be called?
Yes.
The X, and this would be called the Y. So we have here an X and Y position for the cat. So specifically, the X changes and the Y changes. So that's what you should put in the more specifically, X and Y. Okay, what about the dog? Okay, so its position changes, and it's only its X that changes. Right? Is that X position? It's going only this way, only the X. And let me tell you, your game's gonna work better than this. I don't know, this game, when we write the game, it works out really nicely. It doesn't really jump, well, we make it so that it moves a bit up and down. We can really control the up and the down much better. For some reason in this one, they're jumping. Okay, but when we do it, it's different. Okay, there's a ruby that comes on. And what changes about the ruby? Well, if we could play long enough,
Just need some of that talent.
where's the ruby?
I can't see it.
Where's the ruby? There's the ruby.
Oh, there it is.
So what changes about the ruby?
It's exposition.
X position also changes on the ruby. Okay? Ah, see, I'm hitting the dog and I'm hitting the ruby. Okay? Okay, so the ruby changes its X position. What about the clouds?
It can change both X and Y to some degree.
Well, mostly they start at one place that's a random place, and then they go across. So when they're on the screen, they're only changing their X position. Okay, anything else change? What else do we have listed? Score. What changes about the score?
It increases.
So what would you call that about the score?
Integer?
We're going to call it its value. Okay? The value changes, but specifically, it goes up and down. So we don't really have to say specifically because we don't really know. Okay, but you know, it goes up, it goes down depending on what you're doing. And does anything change in the background? Nope. Nope. So you're going to put nothing changes.
Same with the instructions.
And the same with the instructions and the title, nothing changes. They just sit there. Okay? So when you guys create your game, and our game is a little bit different again. Actually, yeah, it's a little, you'll see. You're going to forget about this one anyway by the time we do that one. It's a little different. Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk about is the position in. I'm going to take my notes with me. Okay, and let's do this with a better pen. So when we have a screen like this on our screen, okay, we have only an X and a Y, 0, starts at 0, and goes to 640. Okay, the x, and the y goes from 0 to 480. Okay, that's what is going to be defined for us, the size that's going to be defined for us to use in our game, in the template. Okay, so if I have something, so let's see, this would be about 320, 300, 100, 200, 300, 400, 500, 600, and 40. Okay? And then 100, 200, 300, 480. So if I have something about right here, what would its x, y coordinates be?
200 by 200.
200 and 200. Okay? So if I have something right here, what would its coordinates be?
Roughly 50 by 400.
50 and 400, okay? So we first say what it is on the x coordinate and then on the y. And this, you guys should all know this stuff because it's from way back in math, right? Okay. So we're going to be using those 2 dimensions like that. We're going to be having to figure out positions on the graph and when we create our game. Okay. So what's going to happen when we go down to the lab, and I'm going to do something, we're going to do something else first before we do that, but I'll show you now. When we go down to the lab, you're going to go into modules, you're going to go into labs, and there's Bootstrap. I said Bootstrap lesson 1. Okay, this is this week's lab. And right here, if you click on this, that gives you what we call a Scheme Open Editor. Okay, and whenever we want to just do some stuff in Scheme, we can come to this Open Editor and type stuff in. Now it's split into two windows. There's the, look, isn't that cool? This is the definitions, and this is the interactions. Okay, definitions, interactions. The other thing, so that is if we just want to open a plain editor, but what you're going to do is you're going to go to the game template, and the template is right here. Okay, and there's a whole template, and we're going to be changing stuff in here throughout the semester. Now what you're going to have to do is you're going to be starting to change things, okay, and so every day when you're done with your work, you're going to have to copy everything. So you just select it all and copy it. You can right click and copy. You can do, Control C, however you copy. Okay? And then you go to a document. It can be Word, it can be Notepad, whatever it is, and you paste it. And you save it. And you never, ever make any changes in that document. Okay? If you copy it to a Word document, you do not do any edits. Trust me, you will be very sorry. Okay? When you want to make changes to your code, so you come back next week or you go home, you take that document home, you go, you open up the WeScheme editor, the blank one, you go to your document, you do a copy, and then you paste it into here. And that's how you're going to have to, we can't save it, okay, except that way. So you're just going to have to transfer it back and forth in a document, but never ever edit it in the document. Any ideas why? What does Microsoft Word have in it besides just letters and numbers? All kind of formatting. That stuff gets copied into here, and it totally messes up your code. Okay? Just a warning. Okay. So today, okay. So when you open up the blank game, and maybe I should show you this. Maybe we'll do this. I'll show you run it, I just click run, and this is what your blank game looks like. Okay? It has 3 things on there, nothing moves. It has something that says my game, it says score, and it has a triangle, a square, and a circle.
Sweet.
And a background that's black. Okay?
Old school.
And what you're gonna do, what?
Old school.
Doesn't look cool? But you are going to actually change, so what happens is right here, it says define title, my game. You're gonna change that to the name of your game, and you don't have to come up with that today, but, okay? Define the title color, white. So they have the color as white, you can pick any color you want. Okay, just change the word white to something else. So, okay, and you just go in and you edit it. So I'm gonna call this Awesome Puppy. I don't know. Okay, and I'm gonna make this purple. So now if I go to run it, look, it says Awesome Puppy and it's in purple. Okay? And then they have here these things defined, and we're going to talk about what these things are. There's something called the background, there's something called the danger, there's something called the target, and there's something called the player. So, what do you think the danger was in Ninja Cat? The dog. What do you think the target was?
The ruby.
The ruby. What do you think the player was? Ninja Cat, okay? And that's what they have defined as this rectangle, and you're going to understand this next week because we're going to learn how to make rectangles and triangles and circles and all that. But we're just going to take all that code out and put something else in there. And what you're going to put in there is a picture from the internet. Okay? You're going to find a link to a picture. So say I want a picture of a puppy. So I'll go to images and I'll look for puppy. Okay? Oh, what a cute puppy. So I'm going to find this picture, I'm going to click on it, and I have to make sure that I actually get to the actual picture, like the, I don't know if that one's going to work. You have to like find, you have to end up,
You need the
It
view.
says view original.
It's
yeah, where was the,
horizontal.
well, we can change the size. So I want to make sure, so I want to actually look at, I want to find the link, where did it say view original?
Just click on the picture and then there's
Okay.
a picture.
Why is it not working? I can't click on anything. Click. Let's do that again. Copy. So anyway, you're gonna have to do that. You're gonna have to find the original picture. View original image. Okay, you have to get it on something like this, and then you can literally copy that, copy it, and then I'm gonna take it over here, and I'm gonna stick it in here for my player, okay? But I'm gonna have to change it, and I'll show you what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna paste, okay? And that's the link, the whole link. And I think I have in the instructions, right here. So you're gonna open the template, toward the top of the file you're gonna see some variables defined for background, player, danger, target. At the moment they are simple images. For example, right there. Replace the image producing expression, which means this part that makes the rectangle, with ones that pull in the images from a picture on the web using the full URL of their images as a string. For example, you'd have to put it in double quotes, okay? That's not the one you're doing this, I guess it's this. You have to say define background, and you have to put these words, bitmap/URL, and then in double quotes, all of this. Doesn't have to be on a separate line, there just has to be a space between URL and the double quote. Okay? And then you can scale your images, and I tell you how to do that. Okay, there's this function called scale/xy, and you just put in some fractional number. 0.5 is going to make it half its size. So what happens is, right now, I have this on here, I have to put in bitmap URL. Bitmap/URL, and then that has to be in double quotes. did that right, let's see if I did that right. Nope, I have an error. And then to load, hang on. Oh,
That's an extra.
there's an extra parentheses, or I need, no, because that should have a parentheses, there should be another parentheses in here. What? Did I have one, two, oh, right here.
Yeah.
I don't want that one. And then 1, 2. Okay, run. So there's my puppy, and it's way too big. So I'm going to scale it down. So I have to go scale /xy, and then I'll go 0.5, 0.5, and then this bitmap thing. I need another parentheses, I think. Let's look at the instructions. So you have to have parentheses here, and then there should be 3 parentheses here and 2 parentheses here. Sorry, there's a little bit of, but you'll figure that out. Okay, and then I run it. Oh, not enough parentheses. 1, oh, too many right here. See, I make mistakes. Okay, so I can scale it down more. I can see what 0.5 and 0.5 did. I can make it, I want it a smaller number. Okay? Your background you might want to make bigger. You can say 1.3. Okay? So that's basically going to be your lab for the day, is just filling in those with, you have to get the actual image, just copy and paste, and all the instructions are right here, but you need 1 extra closing parentheses. Okay? And then you click run, and then here are some other things you can do, but you won't understand this yet till next week. Okay, so don't worry about this till next week. Okay, but I have some more I want to show you. That is just about schema at this point. Okay, we are going, so, let's go do this in the lab, because that way, so I'm going to show you some stuff, and I'm going to show you something called circles of evaluation, and you're going to want to be taking notes, but then we're going to turn those circles of evaluation into scheme code, and then I'm going to have you type the code into the computer. So, but we're not going to do that yet. So I don't want you to get on the computers yet when we go down there. But let's just be down there.